Good morning. We are going to be talking about 4 ways that you are able to maximize your salary. So good morning, you guys. Happy Tuesday. You guys know that I do stream live every Tuesday at 7:15 Central Standard Time. Right now, I am streaming both from YouTube and LinkedIn. So good morning. Good morning. I'm definitely excited. Good morning. Good morning. That's my friend. I always see her on my live streams. I love having her. Go ahead, and let's get started, guys. Go ahead and drop below where you guys are from. If you cannot stay for the whole the whole stream, the replay is going to be saved on my channel on YouTube. So make sure that you guys are subscribed there. And I am Alicia Perkins. So give you guys about another 30 seconds. We can go ahead and get started because I know that this is a very hot topic for a lot of people. I know you guys are wanting to know how you are able to get the most out of your salary. So let's go ahead, guys, and get started. Again, if you don't know who I am, my name is Alicia Perkins. I am a career development coach, and I help people get unstuck. I know a lot of people in their careers are unstuck, and so I help them to make more money and advance in their careers, and also help them to transform the way that they show up at work. I have been in HR for over 10 years, has hired for thousands of roles. I now own my own business full time, and the highest increase that I've gotten for one of my clients is $75,000. So please know that I am speaking from a place of experience. These are not tips that I heard that sounded good, but this is tips and strategies that I know that work. Good morning, guys. I definitely see. So let's go ahead and get started, right? First, I do want to say this, guys. You guys cannot afford to not maximize your salary. I know I'm not the only one that has seen the price of everything increase, right? Everything is expensive, guys. Eggs, bread, uh, meat, everything is expensive, gasoline. So we definitely want to be sure that you're doing the best that you can to maximize the amount of money that you currently make, because you cannot afford to leave anything on the table. Like, you literally cannot afford to. And I know that when it comes to, with most people, when it comes with their salary and their career, they're very passive about this. And this is something that you do not need to just kind of be like, oh, okay, if it happens, it happens. If it does, it does, right? And no, right? We are in a time where everything has changed, especially over the last 3 years almost with COVID and the virus. When you look at the workforce and how it is, it's completely different. And so you need to make sure that as this workforce is adjusting, you are starting to adjust too, because if you do not adjust, you will be left out. Right. So I definitely want you guys to understand that you cannot afford to just sit back and hope that you make the money that you desire, but you're going to have to start being very proactive, right? And being really bold and really setting expectations on what it is that you need. Because I know that you guys have desires, right? There are certain things in life that you want to do. You know, if you have a family, if you don't have a family, if it's just you, right? There are certain things that you want to be able to have. And when it comes to your career, right, that is a way that you are able to provide yourself with that lifestyle. And so what I want you guys to be able to understand and know is that, don't be afraid to ask for what it is that you want. Absolutely not, right? If anything, you should feel almost obligated to make sure that you are advocating for yourself. That's key, right? You have to know that I am obligated to it is almost a law, right? That I need to ask for what it is that I need. Good morning. I see people are still rolling in. Good morning. And so when we're talking about the word maximize, like I said earlier, we're talking about you being able to get the most out of it. Right. And I don't want you guys to keep thinking that what you do is so small. Oh, I've been doing this for, 5 years, 8 years. No, you definitely want to be sure that the work output that you are doing it matches the amount of money that you make. So I'm all about helping you maximize that, right? Always being sure that you are putting yourself first and allowing yourself to see the to make the money that you desire to make. So first thing I want to say this, right? If you are one that when it comes to even like talking about money or talking about these kind of things, if it makes you nervous, right? If you're like, Alicia, I've been at my current position and I know that I am not making the money that I need to make, but I'm scared to ask for more, right? And that's definitely a very common thing that most people deal with. So let me ask this. If you feel like you are currently underpaid, because I definitely want to know the audience that I am speaking with this morning, if you feel like you are currently underpaid. And the problem is not that you are underpaid. The biggest problem is you're not doing anything about it, because it's one thing to come to a conclusion and realize, um, the 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 work that I'm putting forth does not match my check, right? But the problem comes into play is, what do you do when you realize that, right? What is the mindset that happens when you realize, hey, I put out a lot more than I actually get back, right? So I want you guys to, really start to even examine yourselves, to look within, right? To see, why is it that I feel like I can't make the money that I want to make, or why is it that I feel like I don't deserve to make the money that I desire to make? Because it doesn't matter how many strategies I, explain to you, if this is not right, you won't ever make the money that you desire to make. And so I want you to get all of this mind trash from up here and really start to think about, why is it that when I think about the money, or even your whole career, right? Why is it that when I really think about what it is that I want, I automatically feel like I can't have it? So, when it comes to you even advancing in your career, and when it comes to you even desiring to make more money, if you don't think that that thing is even available to you, it won't happen. So I don't want you guys to get so stuck on, oh, it's a certain strategy that I have to hear, it's a certain tip that I have to hear, and you don't transform your mind, right? Because this is what happens. For one, when you are at a job where you are being underpaid, right? You know that, hey, I am doing a lot here. I have results, I have successes, but I'm not seeing that. I'm not able to actually receive that back, right? When you notice that, it starts to create all kind of emotions. You'll start feeling like, you know, I don't have the actual respect that I should have. These people do whatever they want to do to me, and that is going to affect the way that you show up at work, right? And when that starts to affect the way that you show up at work, it is going to affect your work performance, right? Because now you are spending 8-9 hours in an environment that you don't feel appreciated. And so, again, it's like, what happens when you start to notice that all of these different emotions are starting, right? And so, this is not the time to feel sorry for yourself. Like, I can't believe this is happening to me, right? But this is the time to really sit back and say, okay, I am now starting to see that my expectations are not being met, right? And start to take the responsibility to decide, what does that next move have to be for you? And the next move, guys, doesn't have to always be a new job, right? That next move could simply be you speaking up for what it is that you want, right? And that really brings me to my next point. So if you guys see me looking down, I have notes to make sure that I have that I'm on track. Because if you guys are on my live streams every week, you know that I can go down the rabbit hole, right? And so that brings me to my first point, is that I want you guys to never be afraid to ask for what you want. I want you guys to get comfortable with negotiating your salary. And that does not only happen when they first hire you, right? That happens as long as you stay there, as long as you bring forth results, as long as you see the work that you do, right? That it adds to their success. You always need to be in a mindset to negotiate. You always need to be focused on, okay, I am here to serve with my skill set, but I'm also here to make sure that I'm being served. Right. And so I don't want you guys to ever be afraid to ask for what it is that you want. And again, if you feel like you are afraid, you feel like I think I should, but I'm not sure. that is a mindset issue, right? And as long as that mindset issue, as long as that block is there, you'll never be able to advance. And so again, it's not just hoping and I just hope I have this job, right? Or I just hope I have this dream role, but it's about who is the person that I need to actually be to get the job that I want. Right. And so don't look for all of these external things to make you feel good. But you're going to have to start validating yourself and realizing that, wait a minute, I'm putting forth the work, right? Not only am I actually able to put forth the work, but I am exceeding expectations and I deserve to be paid for that, right? And so, again, I want to circle back around because you guys know that I help people advance in their careers. I help people to make more, right? But the foundation of that is I help my clients with personal development, right? Being able to build those skills in you to have that career that you want, because a great career doesn't just fall out of the sky, right? But it is about you knowing what you want, being able to ask for what you want, and understanding that I am worthy of what I want. So when we're talking about you being able to ask for more money, you have to be able to understand that, look, every company has a budget, right? And this is when they first hire you. And this is also why you are still there. So this is not to say, get greedy, right? Go in there and just ask for every dime they have. No, but again, what it's about is being able to maximize it, right? Being able to get the maximum amount. If what I've shared so far has been able to help you, because I want to be sure I'm on the right track. Box, if you guys feel like the information I've shared so far has been able to actually help you. So like I said, every company has a budget, right? So even if you are in your job, even if you're in your job search now, I don't want you guys to just think that you always have to be in this mindset to just take whatever you can get, right? There has to come a point in your career that you realize that I have put in the work and now it's time to reap, right? I should no longer have to just keep scraping things, right? Or just kind of like barely getting by when I know the results that I bring forth with my skill set. And so when you start to understand that, and this is important, you got to be able to understand the role that you play. You got to be able to understand what is the role that I play in the success of my company, right? How do I aid to their success? And the more clear you can get on that, the more money you can ask for. But if you don't know the role that you play in their success, they will forever play you. They will forever 2 to 3% raise you to death, right? Because you don't know what it is that you are even worth. And when I'm talking about worth, I'm talking about what you're worth in the current job space. I'm not talking about your self-worth. I'm talking about the worth of your skill set. And so they will 2 to 3% you child to death, right? Or it's not in the budget. Why is it never in the budget? Why? Right? And so even when you are accepting these jobs, you need to be sure that you're making a sound decision, right? And you're able to identify if they are paying you properly. And this is why you can't just get so tied up in a job title. Oh, I do this job title, right? But no, what role does this job play? What part does this role play in the success of this place, right? And that is where I want your mindset to actually shift, because again, people think if I work harder, I'll get paid more. Mm-mm. No, okay. That is not what it is about. It is not about you having to work really hard. It's just not. Now, I'm not saying that you go to work and you don't do anything. What allows you to get paid more is when you know the impact of your role, right? And you know how to maximize your role. And what I want you guys to start thinking about, and even if you haven't, even with even your current job or your past job, start thinking about how much did my skill set actually contribute to the success of them, right? And think about this, right? As they reap, as their success grows, your success should be growing as well. Now, again, I can definitely go into a lot more of that, but I want you guys to really start, really start getting clear on, hey, what am I doing here? Is my current job, is this job allowing me to be pushed closer to the life that I want, or is it bringing me further away, right? I see your question. Somebody said, I negotiated my salary, but they didn't meet me at what I asked. Since mine was an internal transfer, they looked at the percentage I was asking for instead of the actual money, and they said no. Kind of like what I said, like when it comes to salary negotiation, I can really do a whole live on this. And because when it comes to that, it is based off of market, it is based off of data, right? So you don't just pull a number out of the sky, right? But again, the fact that you are a internal transfer, you do have a little bit more leverage because you currently work there, and they currently see the work that you do. So I can't really speak on that altogether because I don't know the full context, but I will say this, when you are desiring to make more, it's not just about I feel like I should have a certain amount, but that has to be backed up by something, which is again data, market, value add, results. So it's not just okay, this is what I can do, but being able to express to them, this is what I can do for you, all plays a part. And let's go on to the next part. Go ahead and save your questions, and I will definitely get to all of those questions. The next strategy to maximize your salary is investing in yourself. Investing in your professional development, because you can't expect them to keep pouring more into you and you're not pouring anything into yourself, right? Ask yourself, when was the last time I invested in my personal development? When was the last time that I wanted to get better at what it is that I do, right? Being able to keep yourself a competitive candidate is key. You got to be able to keep yourself just because in the job market that we're in, it is competitive, right? So you kind of just slogging along, you know what I mean? Just, oh yeah, I'm here at work, just doing my job. And no, you're not going to stay a competitive candidate, and you cannot have a a role in this space and just be so carefree. Again, it goes back to my original point, really being more aggressive, right? With you being able to take control of your development. Now, I'll say this because a lot of us will invest in so many different other things. We will invest in trips, we will invest in shoes and clothes and hair and handbags, and not saying any of those things are wrong, right? Because I invest them in all, right? But I don't put those investments over, right? The investments that I know that I need to make to move me forward, right? So I want you guys to start to even look at your skill set and look at, hey, what are those gaps in my skill set? What are those gaps in my actual development that's keeping me from the money that I desire to make? Because it's not always they don't want to pay me. Sometimes it could be you are not at the level of pay that you desire to be, right? Again, this goes back to that self-awareness. This goes back to you being able to identify the gaps in yourself, those personality gaps, meaning those traits that you have taught yourself. So when you start to desire more pay, right, and you are desiring to just increase in your career overall, start saying, okay, what increases have I put in me? Because a lot of people feel stuck because they know that they want to go higher, right? I know that I want to advance. I know that I want more, but they're staying the same. Right. And so, in order to increase and in order to advance in your career, you will have to actually advance as well. So, start thinking about ways that you are able to invest in yourself, right? To get you to where you need to be. Sometimes, guys, you can't Google everything, right? You know, We love a lot of free stuff. Oh, I want a free tip and I want a free day. And guess what? Free can get you so far, right? But it has to be, you have to come to a point when you have to say, I'm worth the investment, right? I'm worth this. And so point number 3, guys, what I want you guys to start doing is set salary goals, set salary targets, right? Don't just make up these these random amounts in your mind, but I want you guys to start setting salary targets. Okay, in the next 3 years, I want to make this amount of money. In the next 4 years, I want to make this amount of money. And start setting goals and expectations, because once you say, okay, you know what, in the next 2 years, I want to be at 125, just an example, all right? In the next 2 years, if you're not there, it's going to force you to make a decision. Do I stay where I'm at, even though I know that I cannot be paid the money I want to be paid, right? Or do I need to make a move? And when you're able to set goals, guys, it holds you accountable to something. If not, you will sit back in your career knowing that you're 30, 40, 50K, being underpaid by like 30, 40, $50,000, and you won't do anything. You'll sit back and say, I just hope they see my value. I just hope they give me a raise. Knowing that you want to make an extra 30 grand, extra 40 grand, and you're waiting for a 2% raise. And you've been waiting 3 to 4 years for a 2% raise. Whereas when you set those expectations and you set those goals, once those expectations have not been met, meaning once I get to this point, I have asked for what it is that I want. I've been able to express to you what it is that I want, and you refuse to pay me what it is that only that I want, that I deserve. It's time to make a move. Everybody is afraid to change jobs. Again, this is not a call to just quit your job today, but everybody is afraid to change jobs. And you don't know that when you switch jobs, that is your opportunity to get a big salary increase, right? You can get an increase of 30K, 40K, right? 60K. And if these numbers seem far-fetched to you, again, let's go back to this. Why does that seem far-fetched? And if you say, Alicia, I don't think I have the skill set. Okay, so you said you don't think you have the skill set, or you don't know you have it. Because a lot of you guys are automatically counting yourselves out, and you don't even know. You could very well be overqualified. You could very well be in a position to be being paid more. And if you come to find out I don't have the skill set, okay, what do I need to do? What skills do I need to learn to be able to put me in a position to where I can make that amount of money? That's like saying, I'm not looking for reasons to quit. I'm not looking for reasons why I can't have what I want. But what I am doing, I am looking for ways to get what I want. Total mind shift change, right? And if you guys think I'm being hard, I tell people I'm probably not the coach for you. Every client I work with, I have a call with them before they even sign their agreement, before they pay me a dime. And I sit down with them and I tell them my coaching philosophy, okay, which is I hold you accountable. I don't let you make excuses. Now, I can't force you to do anything, right? But once we get clear on what you want and what those expectations are, I hold you accountable, and I don't let you make excuses as to why you can't have something. Because to every problem, there is a solution, and that is where you should be getting your confidence from. Not because I feel like I'm just so awesome and great and I have everything. And no, it's because I know that to every problem in this world, there is a solution, right? And so I want you guys to stop feeling so defeated in your career and stop looking for reasons to just settle. And I want you to start finding ways to get up out of what you're doing, right? Not saying your job, but out of this, out of how you are thinking, and start looking for ways to get the career that you've always wanted, right? I don't want you guys trying to find excuses. I was I was talking to one of my clients, and she is in the middle of trying to make a switch, and she's like, Alicia, I just don't know if I can get this job. I said, okay, go on LinkedIn, go in that search bar and enter in the job title that you want, right? Go in and put that dream role name. I said, and hit search and tell me how many people have that job title. She said, Alicia, 385,000 people have that job title. Just on LinkedIn. You know, there are plenty of other people that don't have a page on LinkedIn or have not updated their page on LinkedIn. She said, Alicia, it's, 385,000 people have the job that I want. I said, so what makes you think that 385,000 people are better than you? Where did you come to that conclusion? Who told you that lie? That 385,000 people are more worthy than you are. I said they are not more worthy than you are. The difference is that they were able to move past their fear and you are stuck in yours. So now we have to come to the decision, am I going to be stuck in my fear and make excuses? Or am I going to do what I need to do to get the job that I want? Because I know there's no way that 385,000 people are better than me. The mind shift changed. When she had that mind shift change, changed everything for her. Right. And that's what I want you guys to start seeing, that I'm not asking for too much. The problem is you're not asking for enough. The problem is your expectations are too low. And this is why you keep getting disappointed with these jobs, because your expectations are just too low. Right. You keep getting disappointed because your expectations are too low. And that frustration comes into play when you know your expectations are low, but you want more. You see how ironic that is? How that frustration, guys, I know this because I've been there. I've been there myself. You're like, I don't know why I feel like this. I just feel stuck. I feel frustrated. Yeah, friend, you feel frustrated because you have low expectations, but you want more. There is a big contradiction there, right? So I want you to raise those expectations and understand that I want to be able to take care of my family. I want to be able to take care of myself. I want to be able to, do things in my life. And I'm not asking for too much, right? Getting really clear on, I'm not making excuses as to why I can't have the success that I want. But what I will do is start looking for answers. Start getting to the point where I'm making a plan to get to where I want to be. Oh, girl, I was not expecting to get this deep. Y'all know I say this every live because I'm so passionate about what I do, because I cannot just come up here and throw you guys some basic tips and say, go. No, I have to be able to have a really good talk with you and really get in the nitty gritty with you, because I desire to be successful. But the foundation of your success comes from your professional development. And I need you guys to own that there are some things in me that I'm going to have to change. There are some things and thoughts about myself that I will have to get rid of. There are some past hurts and things I've been through that I have to be able to overcome in order to operate in the success that I want. Because if I don't get healed from that, if I don't get past that, if I don't improve that, I won't ever see the success that I want. And I will forever point the finger at my boss, my friends. I will point the finger at everybody else except me. But when you start to hold yourself accountable and say, I got the power to make the choices and the decisions that I need to make in my life, you will see your whole life change before your very eyes. Because your success is no longer dependent on what everybody else thinks or said or did, but your success depends upon you. Now, and then that leaves the ball in your court. And once the ball is in your court, friend, success is on the way, right? So I want you guys to start setting those salary goals, right? Not being afraid to even explore in your mind, what if I made a move? What if I started to look somewhere else besides here, right? Not saying up and quit. I'm saying, so you leave, you put your best possible positions, right? Yourself in the best possible place, and you're able to operate out of a place of clarity and strategy. You can't base your career decisions based on your emotions all the time. You got to stop doing that. You have to stop even allowing your emotions to affect how you show up at work. You can't. If you are a woman, they expect you to act a certain way. They expect you to respond a certain way. If you are a Black woman, that's a whole nother life. They expect certain responses out of us. Why would we even give them that? You have to be able to show up even when you have a whole bunch of different other emotions happening, not to say to ignore them, but for one, get the wisdom to know when to address it and how it needs to be addressed. And I also understand I can't let you affect my paycheck or my peace. I'm gonna say it again. I can't let you affect my paycheck or my peace, right? And when you start operating like that, like, hey, you're gonna do whatever you need to do. I've already validated myself, so I don't need you for that. You're gonna see yourself showing up at work in a way you never thought was possible, because it's no longer about everybody else, but it's about you, and the focus is on you, right? So I really want you guys to really start to set those goals and see those gaps that need to be filled. And the last strategy I want you guys to do is to get really, really good at what you do, right? It's kind of like what I said earlier. Don't feel like you have to work harder to make more. You don't. Right? Work smarter, not harder, but be really good at what you do, right? You can't be like, how can I say, you can't be mediocre and expect the best salary. Friend, it don't work like that. You cannot be mediocre and expect to be paid the best. So you need to get really clear on what is the value, the value that you bring to the job market. Get super clear on that. Don't get stuck on the job title, but I need you to get clear on what is the value that I bring in the job market. What is that value cost, or what is that value worth, and how can I get really good at it? What is my secret sauce that causes me to stand out from everybody else, right? And so, and then I don't want you to be afraid to even talk about how great you are. I'm not saying to brag, right? And us as women, we really got to get past that. Just because you know how good you are at something, and just because you know how to articulate how good you are at something, does not mean you are bragging on yourself. It's just that you are fully aware of your expertise. And there's nothing wrong with that, because when men brag about it, it's fine. And a lot of, let me not say that. I was gonna say, and sometimes a lot of them really just don't be all that great. Now I'm playing, but men are a lot comfortable talking about the impact they provide, or the results that they bring forth, and they do it with so much confidence. But women, we are like killing ourselves, exceeding expectations, breaking our backs, and we won't even whisper what we do. Right? We're just kind of waiting for people just to kind of see it. It doesn't work like that. If you are in corporate America, friend, you got to learn how to play the game. And the game to advance in corporate America is not waiting for somebody to move you up. It's not waiting for somebody to pay you more. It's you being clear on what is that value add, and you advocating for yourself. So I want you guys to start thinking about, even in your current role, how can I maximize my performance? How can I get really, really, really good at what it is that I do? Right? I'm going to do a quick recap, and then I will go to the comment section and answer the questions that I see. For one, the first point I added was mindset, and now I'm looking at it. It's really like 6 here. The first one is, if you want to maximize your salary, get your mind right. Start believing and understanding that you are worthy of what it is that you want. 2, negotiate. Never be afraid to ask for what it is that you want. 3 was to make sure that you are investing in yourself, doing what you need to do to fill the gaps or to get the strategies that you need in order to succeed. 4 was being great at your job, maximizing your performance. The next one was to set salary goals. And a little bonus, don't be afraid to make a move, right? So if you are needing help in this area, you guys are able to work with me one-on-one. You can find more information out at IamAliciaPerkins.com. I am streaming on like TikTok, LinkedIn and YouTube all at the same time. So you guys are able to send me a message on LinkedIn, or you are able to find more information out at IamAliciaPerkins.com. You are able to get exclusive content from me. You can go to careertea.me and sign up to get exclusive content from me every week. Also, you guys can subscribe to my channel on YouTube. I go live every week at 7:15 Central Standard Time. And that is at IamAliciaPerkins.com. You can pretty much find me everywhere at I Am Alicia Perkins. On LinkedIn, I Am Alicia Perkins. I wish I would have negotiated my salary when it was offered. Don't feel like it's over, friend. It's not over. You know, you really got to keep track of your accomplishments, right? And don't be afraid to revisit with them in 90 days, 6 months. You don't have to wait a full year, but you got to be clear on the results you bring forth and the value that you add to them. But don't feel like because you accepted an amount, you have to stay at an amount. You know what I never understood? A lot of times, you know, when they hire you for a role, they'll say the pay is based on experience, right? Cool, got it. But if you're working in a role and you're getting more experience and your experience has changed, why hasn't the pay changed? If the pay is based on experience and you started and you got more experience, why hasn't the pay changed? Like that pay based upon experience, that doesn't just apply when you first get the job. No, pay is based on experience. So circle back with them in 6 months, circle back with them in a year and say, hey, when you hired me based on this amount because of the level of my experience. Now that I am working, I've gained more experience. We need to talk about a pay adjustment, not a pay raise, a pay adjustment. My pay needs to be adjusted because my experience has changed. So never be afraid to ask for more. Never. But you can't be so head down on your work every day and you don't realize the results you bring forth. You don't realize the problems that you solve for them and how big those problems are. You got to be able to keep track of that. And I am going to be I'm in the final touches of I made an actual brag book that I will be releasing in the next few days, right? So please stay tuned. Again, if you sign up at careertea.me, that will add you on my list and you will, I'll have an email sent out when that is going to be released, but that's going to be released in a few days. So that's going to be able to help you to keep track of your accomplishments, your successes, the results you bring forth, all of that. And so that is going to be coming out in a few days. So stay tuned for that. Somebody said my last increase was 2.48%, and that was higher than everyone else's. My manager said he had to ask for approval for that range. And that could be true. Like, I don't want you guys to think that like everybody is out here just trying to just, you know, dime you to death. Kind of like what I said earlier, when it comes to a company, they do have a budget they operating in. And if they budget, hey, their budget is their budget, right? And if their budget no longer it matches the impact, maybe it's time to find a new budget. Cool. I understand that you have your budget and I respect your budget. But I need to go find a budget that is aligned with the impact and the results that I bring forth. Nothing personal, right? But the budget you have no longer fits my expectations. And so, you know, when you're talking about maximizing your salary, it's not you trying to beg and beg and beg, please pay me more, please pay me more. No. Am I still in alignment with you? And chances are, if your skill set is growing, if again those results are coming forth, those successes are there, and if they can't grow with you, you got to grow somewhere else. I negotiated my salary, but okay, I think I addressed that one already. I have only made $2,000 in salary increase since 2020. Y'all, let me break this down. And if you guys can give me 2 more minutes, because I think this is probably going to be the most important thing I say this whole live stream. You know, when you hear me talking about, and let me get my calculator. When you hear me talking about my clients, and please, guys, just give me 1 minute. If earlier I was talking about how oh, I have clients that I work with and they get like, um, they get increases of like $30,000, $40,000, and my highest increase has been $75,000, right? You go, oh my God, that's a lot of money. And it could be for some. So let's say you're asking for an extra $10,000 a year. And a lot of people go, man, that's a lot of money, right? You're asking for like $10,000, right? That's a lot of money. Let's really break this down and see how much you're really asking for. So $10,000 divided by 12 months is $853 a month. You're asking them for $833. That makes millions for an extra $833 a month. Let's break it down even more. And this is if you're asking for a raise for $10,000. So let's divide the 833. People get paid every 2 weeks. So we'll divide the 833 divided by 2, because that's 2 checks in a month. That's an extra $416 a check. You're asking for an additional $416 a check. Okay. All right. Let's break this down by the hour, right? So let's just do 40 hours. No, probably have to be 80 hours because the 416 is for one check, right? So yeah, let's do 80 hours. Guess how much extra you are wanting to make? You're asking for an extra $5.20 an hour. And this is for somebody who is asking for an extra $10,000 a year. So when you think about the work that you do, the hours that you put in, how you've exceeded expectations time and time again, and you're really asking for an additional $520 before taxes come out, and you think you are asking for too much when they tell you this is not in the budget. So it's like, okay, I'm seeing all the reports that we're doing a great job here, right? I'm seeing all the reports that how much money we made last year. I mean, this year is more than last year, and I'm asking for an additional $5.20 before taxes, and you telling me it's not in the budget. Or if you're like, Alicia, I just want to make an extra $10,000. But when you break it down, and this is what I mean earlier when I said, when you keep thinking you're not asking, when you keep thinking you're asking for too much, you're not asking for enough. So I want you guys to get really clear, really, really clear on what you want. What is the value that you add? And don't keep thinking about what is it going to cost me if I leave. Think about what is it going to cost me if I stay again, or what is it going to cost me if I don't ask for what I want. And so you see how you are wrestling with an extra $5 an hour that lets you know how to be shooting for more, right? So I want you guys to see that really quick example, because I wanted to let you know you're worth more than that. Now, again, I understand that when you work at a company, they may have a budget, and that's fine. Go find a bigger budget. Let's see. I'm sorry. Hold on. I'm coming your way. I'm just going to comments on LinkedIn and YouTube. Again, guys, what advice do you have for people wanting to pivot into a new career field? I would say get clear on why you want something new. So because obviously if you're wanting something new, there's a reason. There's something you either don't like, or there's something you want that current role doesn't allow you to have. Get really, really clear on what it is that you don't want. Everybody is in this mode of always, they really want to know what it is that they want. But if you get really clear on what you don't want and why, that will move you into what you want. And also start to really get clear on again, what does this next move mean for you? What do you need out of it? You want to make something on my lip. I'm sorry, y'all. Get clear on if you want to make more money, if you want a better work-life balance. Also think about the person that you need to actually become to succeed in this new role. Exactly. I just realized I was really good at facilitating processes and project management. Oh, girl, those are some high-end demand skills. Yes. Ooh, you are TikTok's comment is so small, getting me all the way Friend, it's out of love. Should I watermark my documents? I'm not sure what you mean by that. I'm sorry. Is there any more questions, guys? If not, I would definitely let you guys go and enjoy the rest of your day. If you was not able to catch the full stream, it is going to be saved on my channel on YouTube. If you on LinkedIn, it is coming down. This is not going to stay on LinkedIn, but if you the replay will be available on my channel on YouTube. Again, I go live every week, Tuesday mornings at 7:15 Central Standard Time. Also, again, if you want to get exclusive content, please make sure that you do go to careert.me. If you would like to work with me, please send me a email at hello@IamAliciaPerkins.com. And you can also go to my website to find out more information at AliciaPerkins.com. And that is it, guys. I will see you guys next week. Bye.